So I'm going to get some questions ready. I'm gonna have chat give a few questions, and let me pull up your bracket run. You had a lot of heavies, from what I think I saw in bracket. You had a lot of heavies, to my knowledge, unless I'm tripping. But let me pull up bracket.
I think I beat people. I think. But no, yeah, no. My run to second was not easy. I had to fight a lot of previously PR'd players. I think most of my run was actually people who were on the previous PR and just good players in general.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. So let's pull this up. So early bracket, I know that your round one you had Heat Nova, and then there was me and you that we played.
Mm-hmm.
So you 2-0'd, and then you immediately had Prol next.
Yeah.
So you lost 2-0 to Prol. So in that first set with Prol, did you have any looking back at it, is there anything that you would have wanted to change, or anything about your mentality or way that you thought about it in that first set? Is there any notes or mentions you have about it?
I think my first set I was both very I was both very anxious, but I was also I don't know how to describe it. I really wanted to fight him because for the entire year I never got to fight either Prolific or Zared, and those were the top two players, undisputably, right? And I never got to play them. It was due to previously mentioned I was grounded for a couple months, and my first tournament back, which was Exodus, I got a 7th place, which wasn't that bad, but I didn't get to fight either of them. So when it came time for FPS against Prolific, I was very anxious, and that showed quite a bit if you compared the first set with our losers final set. I was not hitting any of my combos. Neutral was very shaky. I was in my shield a lot. I wasn't confident. I wasn't playing around his shield, which was a common occurrence in both sets. I knew that Pro wasn't playing that hot for this tour either, but he did manage to take one over me in the winner's set, and I got dropped down to losers.
Nice. So then in your losers, to qualify for top 8, you had to fight Velo, and then after Velo, you were in. And if I'm not mistaken, your first round 1 in top 8 was versus Rage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So something that we got to talk about is that 4-stock. That 4-stock.
That 4-stock was insane.
Yeah.
It felt especially good because, what was it? The last time I played Rage was also a while ago, back in November of last year. And November of last year, he kind of bodied me.
Oh, this is when he is this at Just Vibin', or during the time limit?
No. This was, what was it? It was one of the Battle for the Big Tops. It was sometime last year, late last year, and this was after Luigi got nerfed. So I can't really say much about that set except I got played. But yeah, this time around, I didn't keep my general game plan of sticking to, because first starting out against a Rage, I would always just play the distance, just constantly lasering, and that used to work. But then I kept doing that against a Rage, in the Battle for the Big Top Grand Finals, and he kept on what was it? He knew how to play around it. So this time around, I just played way closer to him, but not too close where he can hit me with a random up tilt, random up smash, or just grab me. But even in that set, I don't think I was playing too hot.
Okay.
So I definitely turned it up game 4.
You were just keeping the base game plan. You were just staying just outside of his range, spacing when laser when needed, but just keeping pressure on him to not let him get away, so that you could play more of your game instead of allowing him to play his game.
Exactly. Falco's best strength is the fact that he can force you to play at his pace, and Luigi is not an exception to that. If you laser him or lock him down in his shield, and just full hop over him, laser him, all that stuff, he has to respond to what you do. It's not the other way around. It's a very hard matchup for Luigi.
Yeah. So then after Rage, what was the set count between you and Rage again?
It was 3-1. He took game 3, and then I beat him to win the set in game 4.
Okay, nice. So then after Rage, he went on to fight RC, who
Chaos.
Chaos,
It was
Chaos actually.
Yeah. Dude, that set. Oh my god.
The Game 5 set, from what I remember.
Yeah, that set was crazy. Oh my god, I'm still thinking about it. That was the closest set I had that day. It was, what was it? It was game 5, I think, last stock. I went up in game 1, and then game 2 I think I SD'd and I lost the set last stock. And then game 3, Chaos was like controlling neutral super well. Like, even though it was on Dreamland, and that is definitely Lloyd's worst stage, it was both a mix of me not playing to my strengths and Lloyd and Chaos just like comboing me, not letting me play my neutral, that kind of stuff. But eventually I clutched it out, and like also another last hit last stock. Fun fact, this entire set Chaos let me pick the stage. Like every single stage he let me pick.
Oh,
and
okay.
So I picked Battlefield first 2 games, Dreamland game 3, and then he still let me pick the game, pick the stage for game 4, even though I was up 2-1. I just wanted to throw him a bone, so I gave him toss, which I also really like in the matchup. Obviously, I think Lloyd wins on toss because the chain grab is so broken. But I knew that Chaos wasn't a chain grabber, so I thought like maybe I could just like not get punished as hard as if I were playing against like Solus on that stage.
Yeah.
Solus is really good at the chain grab. His punish game's just good overall.
I know the life of a Spacey.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, with you, you've come to terms with it, like, because, you know, you're
it's just part of my life, bro.
Yeah.
I either kill people at 60 with down air, or I just die in the stupidest ways. But there was one thing that someone told me that really resonated with me, and I think it was like Nady saying something that Vash told him. So it was like, he said that like dying stupidly, that should not affect you mentally, because it's the same thing as dying like fairly, you know.
I what you mean.
It's like you die either way, so why would you like think about it?
Why would you get frustrated? It's the same
why would
result.
you? Yeah.
I get that. I get that. That's something that I think a lot of players should start looking at as a new way to think about the games, because I know a big part of this tournament run has to do with your mentality, because keeping a strong mental really can influence how you play significantly change your options, because you're less frustrated while you're going into things. So I do think that is something that a lot of people should take away from this, is that mental game is very important. It's
very important, especially if you're making a pretty deep losers run, if into top 8, like you not into top 8, sorry, pretty deep losers run. If you're outside of top 8 while in losers, you make it all the way to grands, your mentality has to be like on point. That's kind of how it was for me.
So after Chaos, you I know you were probably surprised by this. RC going DK.
Yeah. I heard about the DK, right? I did not know that he went DK his entire run.
Yeah, that weirded me out too.
I know he switched off for Pika against Chaos game 2, but he ended up losing the set either way. But yeah, he went DK, I think, in just the entire set. And his DK is, I think it's really good, actually.
Yeah, from
like,
what
going
I saw,
into it, I was like, oh man, DK. Like, I body DKs on the daily, man.
Wow. I mean, like something I really noticed is RC's playstyle. You can really tell whatchamacallit. You can really tell his like roots from like playing Pika in the way that he plays DK sometimes. Because you see like the something I noticed in your set was his usage of Nair. Like, because you know Prol uses a lot more Nair compared to like Kai, or compared to Kai, because they're the two DK mains right now. But I really saw him using like so much like Nair throughout that set, and it's really amazing how you can just see how someone's playstyle can translate from character to character. It's interesting, really interesting.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Just like, I played against RC's DK, and a lot of it's like especially his like neutral, his neutral choices were not very DK-ish. He does not like to stay in his shield. He doesn't like to like stay in the air and sort of like catch you with like a side B stall into an aerial. He plays very grounded, and I think that's definitely something that threw me off for a little bit. Even though I did go up 2-0, it was definitely something I still was not used to the DK. The only thing that carried me against RC was just the punish game. And even then, at that time, it wasn't that clean. My neutral in that set was horrendous. I did not play neutral well at all against RC. It kind of showed because I think I got shield grabbed a lot. I don't know, man, but I still won in the end. I almost got reverse 3-0'd. I thought I was gonna get reverse 3-0'd.
You know, in the end of the day, though, you did come out with the W. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was weird. I mean, RC, what was it? He got 4th, right? Playing DK.
Yeah, that's still crazy.
That's further than that's further than Kai. I think what was it? Kai got 7th.
He lost.
He lost
Yeah.
to RC. That's crazy.
Wow. That one blows my mind a little bit, knowing that Kai lost to RC with his pocket DK. That's crazy.
When I first saw it, I was like, when I first saw that it went to game 5, because we were because the top 8 was in a private chat, so then we can kind of hide the scores and all that.
Oh yeah.
I saw that their set count was 3-2, and I'm like, dang. Kai took his Pika to game 5, because at that time I didn't know he played DK. And I look back and I'm like, wow, RC beat Kai in a DK ditto. I looked at it, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. RC's DK is legit.
It's legit. Something I also know though is the 2 main DK mains right now, from my knowledge, actually aren't that good at the DK ditto. Because I know Prol has said that he doesn't like the ditto, and I know that Kai said that he's also not that good at the ditto sometimes.
Yeah.
But even so, it's still very remarkable. So who did you fight after RC?
I fought Prolific. This is our run back from our winner set.
Oh, okay.
And this time around, oh my god, dude. So what was it? It was something funny on commentary. I will expose myself. Candace said that when I side beat off stage, that that it was a decent game 1, and we were just resetting to 3 stocks each. But
was it actually just a SD?
It was actually just an SD. I tried to shield drop. I tried to do a shield drop laser.
Oh, the shield drop turnaround laser, and you get the side B input.
Yeah, and I got the side B input because when I shield drop, you have to hold both down and one of your roll options.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, and then I just side beat off stage. I'm like, fuck, and then Prolific suicide. I'm like, yo, he homie stock. I'm like, yo,
let's go.
Let's go, dude. Homie stocks and losers finals.
Let's go. We'll keep it under wraps. Under wraps.
Yeah, and then I dogged him for the rest of that game. Dude. I just killed him with dare, below 100, at least 3 times.
That was something that M2K crazy. Commented on is versus a lot of the cast. So M2K obviously, because I know you listen to the stream afterwards.
He's a big fan of DK. I heard.
he thinks DK is broken. And
yeah,
from what we've seen in bracket, we can't really blame him, of course.
Yeah.
But
3 DKs in top 8. That is insane.
Dang. And when you take into account that 2 of them are RC first, we've never seen RC play DK like that. And then Kai plays Falco a lot as well. So it is what it is. But it's dang. I know something that was big too was the back throw chain grabs, where you could get those quick 40s, and then those dare spikes were so good. Were so good. Were so important.
I will say back throw is a really good throw, but it's also a bit of a gimmick. It's one of those quote-unquote gimmicks that I don't blame people if they get hit by it, because the throw itself, the back throw itself, you have to be DIing before you actually get grabbed. If you get back thrown, you can't DI down during the grab, during the throw. You have to know that you're gonna get grabbed and DI down immediately or beforehand. That's how you get out of it. There's another counterplay with SDI where you can SDI the lasers. But even then, I think Falco has enough time to react and still get the dare. I don't think he can short hop dare. I think he has to full hop dare it. Depending on the SDI. If the SDI is up, you have to full hop dare. From SDI is away, you have to run before you short hop dare.
From what I've seen, wait, I need to clarify this so I can make sure I'm right. Is it 3 lasers that are shot? Does Falco shoot 3 lasers?
I can't count. I can't count. I don't know.
I think it's 3 lasers.
It does 14 damage. It's insane.
Ooh.
So I think it's what is it? 3 lasers? I think it's 3 lasers, yeah.
Okay.
Because each laser does like 3%, and the back throw itself does, I think, like 5 damage.
So from what I've seen, or like from what I've labbed, sometimes I can jump out of back throw whenever I get like 2 of the SDI inputs, which is why I was unsure if it was 3, because I don't know the maximum I can get. But I know I've been able to get times where I could DI back and then up, SDI up, and I would be able to get out.
Yeah, SDI back, jump away. That is something you can do. It's back throw dare is something it's not true unless you're playing like a big body character. DK, even against like spacies, it doesn't work if you just DI away. I think DK. This might not be true, but I think DK is the only character where you can back throw him, and if he doesn't do the DI down, which sends you at like the really downish angle, it gets away from the lasers, you can follow up on him and get the dare. So I abuse that a lot against him. I abuse dare a lot. DK, like Falco DK is a really bad matchup for DK. It's just so much about it. If the Falco plays correctly, which is just like not approaching stupidly, then the only thing DK can bet on is just like zero deathing him.
Dang. Were there any moments in the set specifically that you remember versus Pro?
I remember a lot that what was it, game 4 on Dreamland. I was just like I played the lead trapping game really well. Actually, it wasn't lead trapping, I was just edge guarding him, but I kept him on the left side, and the only thing he can do was just air dodge to stage, and I punished him every single time. Like on the last stock, he like constantly edge guarded him, constantly air dodged. I just kept back airing him off, and eventually he like air dodged and then shield. I just up throw, I think like dared him or something, or double dared him. Sorry.
Nice.
But yeah,
nice.
Crazy.
And going into the final set, your set versus Zaire.
Yeah.
So this is when was the last time that you were in Grands that you remember?
That I remember, if I'm not counting like the weeklies or that kind of stuff. The last time
PR.
I was in
The last PR.
Yeah. The last time I was in Grands was, I think, the tournament that never was, like 1.3, which I won that. I won that against Hida. But besides that tournament, I actually can't remember. But this was probably the first time like I was in Grands for like a huge tournament since like summer of 2020.
Nice.
So I was definitely feeling it. Feeling the stress, I was feeling the adrenaline. I was like, I could do this. Because before that I was like, I don't know if I can do this, but at that time, man, it was crazy. And it was also getting pretty late for me.
Okay.
So I was also like extra tired. I was also excited, and Zaire is someone who I always had a fun time playing against. I don't know if he can say the same. I know he really does not like Falco, but every time we played, our sets always went the distance. Game 5, last hit, last stock, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
I
know this has been an argument that's been up for debate for a while, and I wanted your opinions on Falco Meta Knight, like the matchup
Falco
itself.
MK.
Yeah.
I think it's Falco winning, but I think it's very close to even. I think as time goes on, like regarding patches and stuff, or not regarding patches stuff, if we're stuck in 1.3 for the eternity of our lives, I wouldn't want that, by the way, but if we were, I think Falco would be going up and MK would be going down. Because the more that like I think about it, Falco can just full hop and just kind of like avoid MK things. Like MK can't chase him in the air. He can chase his landings, but you can't chase his like ascension. It's really stupid. Like how degenerate Falco can be against MK. But MK can also just zero to death Falco. He can zero death both basically every character, but Falco especially. Very important in the matchup that you gimp him at early percents, edge guard him, kill him, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Something I know, what is it? Even though Meta Knight has amazing aerials and everything, But from the MKs that we've seen, specifically being Zaire, Meta Knight's grounded game is a lot more versatile than playing throughout the air, as we've seen from JMac and AK.
His ground game is so stupid.
Yeah.
MK's ground game is what people think that MK's air game is. It's like he's just so fast, and he is like, okay, I count sharp aerials, like sharp approaching aerials, as part of your ground game. Deal with it.
Oh yeah, because your G2A he still has good G2A.
It's part of, like, people say if you leave the ground, that's your air game, but nah, if you're close to the ground, I consider that your ground game. Because so his G2A is insane. His dash speed's insane. He has one of the best dashes, best dash stances, one of the best down tilts.
Down tilts.
One of the best dash attacks.
Fair converts into a lot of stuff at low percent.
Yeah, fair is insane in neutral. Yeah, you can fall out of it.
You also have like short hop down air, and a bunch of other options.
Yeah, MK's ground game insane.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by he can cover Falco landings, but he can't really cover the ascension because he can't chase him down in the air. Yeah. You can only like catch him.
Did you have any memorable moments from the Zaire set?
From the Zaire set? Let's see. I'm trying to think. What was it? I think I don't have any like memorable moments, but I think one thing I did really well in that set was just getting my kills at not really that absurd of percents. That's another thing I forgot to mention. I wanted to mention in the matchup that also makes it pretty favorable for MK. Like, it swings it towards him a little bit in some aspects. It's that like Falco has no consistent kill setups on MK. It's like you can do like down throw shenanigans, jab down tilt, that kind of stuff, but if MK is like at a really high percent and nothing links into a kill move, Falco has like back air, down tilt, I guess up tilt can kill, that kind of stuff, but like it's definitely something that Falco struggles in. He cannot kill MK if MK gets above a certain percent. That's something I did really well against Zaire. I did not let his leads like grow any bigger than it had to be. Like, every time he would take a stock, I'd take a stock like pretty soon afterwards. It's definitely something I've struggled against, like specifically JMac, because JMac, like, you cannot touch him if he is like at a really high percent.
He becomes impossible to hit.
Yeah, if he just commits to like not dying, then he will not die.
Yeah.
But that's something I did really well against there. I just got my kills. I played neutral pretty well. It was a fun set. I really enjoyed my run.
That's nice. So I don't think I really have that many more questions. But it was amazing you having you do this. It was really nice to get this interview.
It's good to be here. Thank you for inviting me for the interview. And I greatly appreciate it.
Right. I also I need to ask to make sure, because this is important. I need to ask if it's okay to post this to the FFC page. Obviously.
Yeah, sure, you can. So. You can do whatever you want with this.
All right. Do you have any other comments? Because I'm probably gonna keep streaming. After this.
Any other comments? Then okay, the next PR tournament, I'm gonna show a bit. Next PR tournament is gonna be Battle for the Big Top 18, hosted by Ladner over at the Smash Circus Discord. Go check that out. That is going to be, I think, the third to last PR tournament of the season. The other two is gonna be Bowlers 4. That's pretty hype.
That's hype.
And the last one is gonna be called Last Chance, hosted by Doc. It will be the last PR tournament before the Invitational, which is modeled after Summit, Smash Summit. Shoutouts to Smash Summit. Shoutouts to Beyond the Summit.
Shoutouts to Beyond the Summit.
Yeah, Beyond the Summit. They do so much for Melee and just like all the communities they're a part of. But that tournament, the Last Chance tournament, will have double circuit points. So if you're really lagging behind on circuit points, you should go check out that tournament. It'll be streamed. All the tournaments will be streamed. And yeah, funny enough, I'm not going to be joining Battle for the Big Top 18. I really want to, but I can't, because Bowlers 3.5 the very first very first local SF2 local that I will ever be in is going to be hosted in New York City by Bowler, and it will be having a lot of like the New York people. It'll have me, it'll have Nady, Solus is dropping by. He's going on vacation and he's going to be visiting New York City. That's going to be hype. It's going to have Piano. It's going to have Piano's friend. It's going to have
Let's
Ender
go.
Eli. It's going to have Miracle Man. It's going to have
Wow.
Secret Asian Man, who I didn't know was in New York.
Oh,
But
let's go,
it's gonna be
Sam.
dope. It's going to be dope to see him. But yeah, I hope I'm not missing anybody. That's all I remember off the top of my head.
All right.
But I'm going to be joining that. Bowler said he's going to be streaming. It's going to be a fun time. It's a LAN tournament. It's going to be sick. I don't have to die to random lag spikes or that kind of stuff.
Tiller, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like you would. I feel like you would go insane offline because of how much stuff Fox gets access to offline. I feel like you would definitely play a lot more Fox offline.
Yo, yeah, Fox offline just feels insane. Like, even Fox online feels insane. But the only reason why I say that is because, like, in friendlies, there's not really much risk to it. In tournament, if I'm playing Fox, and I deal with like someone with like subpar connection,
You can be
my
very
Fox is
frustrated.
getting washed. Yeah, I would get very frustrated, and I wouldn't be playing that well.
Shout-
But if I'm on LAN, I would know that the mistakes are my own, and I just have to like suck it up.
Alright. So this is the this is the second time I've had you here.
Hello.
Has it been? It's been more than a week though. It's been more than a week.
Yeah. Last time was what was it? FPS, which was
Yeah. Oh, it was a while ago actually. Actually, yeah, just about a week.
FPS was about a week ago.
All right.
I left one of my belongings at Bowler's Hotel. I'm kind of sad. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going back though. I might, but it's honestly not worth. It's just like a keyboard armrest thing or like a handrest. So I'm just like, this might do with it.
All right. One thing I gotta do. Hold on. I gotta pull up Streamlabs on my phone really quick, because I don't have notifications on during the interview, so I need to remember these in case something happens. Streamlabs deck.
Yeah,
Also-
you played at BBT, right?
Yeah, I got a 5th. I lost to. Who did I lose to? I lost to AK and Solus.
Damn. AK, those are it's pretty good.
Mm.
Solus is popping off recently.
Oh yeah.
And then AK is just AK, you know, he just gets top 3 consistently when there's not like
Twitch. There we go.
Troll or Zay or RC joining.
Yeah. All right. So now that that's open. Let me make sure, is my recording live? Yeah, my recording's live. I had to remember to just record from OBS so that I don't have to like spend like literally like 3 hours trying to download the Twitch VOD. 'Cause the Twitch VODs are so big. All right. So, Lil Nitty host.
Shut up, Nady, bro.
Let's go. So there's a list of things I want to talk about. The first one is Bowlers 3.5. Oh my god. So this is the first SSF2 local in literally probably 3.5 years. Most likely it's been like the first local in 3 years. 'Cause I know we had it at SmashCon 1 year, but other than that we haven't had it. So how did you feel at the local? Because I know it was a really fun event because I was in the stream and stuff as well.
Yeah. I didn't really know too much about like how Scuffed Stream actually was until like a lot of people like said it. Like I'm just sitting there like I can get why people, you know, tuned out after a while because it was super scuffed. Like at first it was like fine, it was whatever. Like you just had like the regular settings, like they just show the screen. But then afterwards, because there were 2 setups, and for some reason Bowler's OBS wasn't like working with Discord screen share.
Oh.
What was it? We had to like get like a webcam and then face it on like my laptop screen because I brought the second setup. We used the second setup for stream because I think Nady and LHG had like different controls, and they needed like a keybind thing, and and Bowler's computer didn't have that.
Oh.
In hindsight, we could have just used Parsec, and that would have been fine, and would have been whatever. But at the same time, we did what we did, like with what we had, and overall it was a fun experience. But on a completely different note, it was like playing LAN SSF2 without like the limitations of like only one person can play keyboard, another
Oh,
person plays
yeah.
like controller. It was so fun. Like everyone there was like cool as hell. And it was fun. It was fun talking to them. Just LAN SF2 in general. Like if you guys watched the stream, I played more Fox than I did Falco, and that's because Fox just felt so good. He
Yeah.
felt so good on LAN. It was so great.
Something me and Inari have talked about is this recurring thing that me and Inari both think that Fox is a top 2 or 3 character offline because he just feels so good. Just feels so good.
It's gonna have to be like if we have more SF2 locals or like just LAN tournaments, or just like LAN, or just like if eventually we can just do like Parsec with the mod, because I think Peaceful Pro, the person who mainly worked on it, he's gonna be releasing like a more clean version of the keyboard splitter mod, because it is a little bit like janky. Like certain buttons don't work. Like I know Bowler told me that until like yesterday, until he got like the new build, shift and backspace did not work.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's still pretty jank, but it definitely made the experience just so much more fun. It was just great.
Nice.
I ended up winning $25 for first place plus nitro.
Let's go.
I think plus nitro, and then plus like a poster. We were supposed to get the posters today, but then because of the storm yesterday in New York City, the delivery got delayed. So Bowler's gonna be shipping it to our addresses. So I hope it's dope.
It was really very really nice to see everyone, like, or not everyone in person, but like to get the vibe of like offline tournaments, because SSF2 has been online its entire lifespan, right? Like its entire lifespan, it's been an online game, and just like the vibe that I got from an offline tournament was so much different from online tournaments. It was really so nice to watch, man.
Everyone was just so like chill, except for like, I don't know. I think Nady was the only one who ever got like really salty, but his salty is just like just being loud, like kind of he's
just Nady things. Just Nady things.
It's just Nady things. Yeah, it's just doing Nady things. But like, like if I lost a game, I was like, whatever, bro. I'm just here to have fun. And then like me and the person next to me, whoever I played, we would like have a little bit we would talk in the middle of our sets. It's pretty fun.
All right. So, I do want to say that that stream peaked, Brett. It peaked at from when I was in stream, we peaked at 96 viewers, which was insane. Really, insane.
I was not there to like watch the stream. I caught a little bit of chat.
Yeah.
But I didn't. But then like at that point, it was like 30 viewers. So like I said before, I guess like most of them, the viewer retention really like wasn't really all that, because the stream setup was like pretty scuffed. And just like people probably expected like a more professional, like professionally ran stream, like from like a local,
Yeah.
from like an old local or melee local. But overall, it was still fun. Like shout outs to Bowler. It is crazy. It is
Big
so
shout-outs
crazy
to Bowler.
what this guy does, man. Like first of all, he flies over, and first of all, he can't do this without his community. So mad props to them. Like they made it happen as well as him. And first of all, he flew over. He hosted it in his very own hotel, which costed like quite a bit. He told me about it. And then like he got everything to work, got the stream to work. Asked Peaceful Pro to make the mod, or like update the mod, and it's just overall, it was just, not one person is responsible for like how great the SF2 local was, because honestly, I felt like you had to be there in order to see how amazing it was. Obviously, it's like I don't know. For an online community, I think we did pretty good for
That-
Boulder 3.5.
That's good.
Even though only like 8 or 9 people showed up, like they still showed up, and you know, it just felt cool being a part of it and winning it too.
Yeah, that brings me to my second point. You won 2 tournaments today, which was that's crazy. You won 2 tournaments today. So battle for Big Top. Let me pull up your bracket really quick. This was one of our smaller tournaments of the season, but that's all right. That's all right. Let's see who you had en route to your win. You had. So you fought notable players. You fought Solus, Godly, AK, and then you had to run back with Solus.
Yes.
So Solus, how do you feel about Solus right now? Because he's starting to enter tournaments more.
Yeah, I think Solus has been one of like the more difficult people I had to fight, which is strange because like from what people see, they don't see him as like a top 10 player, mainly because he just doesn't enter. But I feel like if he just played more, you'd definitely like reach that point. Obviously, it wasn't his fault because he said he loved to join tournaments. It's just his schedule did not fit within like the way tours have been ran. But I think, yeah, it like the beginning part of my brackets look kind of rough, like 2-1 versus like AO Tusk, another one who was like a pretty decent Goku. I went to game 3. I lost game 1 because like everything just felt so weird. Because immediately after I won Bowler 3.5, it was like exactly at like 5 p.m. And then I was like, I only had like 20 minutes to sort of like adjust to online.
The difference is so big between
difference
offline.
Was awful. I think I SC'd like once, and then I got like back thrown like 3 times, and that's how I died. And I'm like, man, like why? How did I ever play like online SF2 before? It just felt so jarring, you know.
Yeah.
It was so crazy, but I still managed to win. And then Solus, he won up game 1. Then game 2 was like I had to make like a 3-stock comeback. And that was also crazy. And then I ended up winning the set. And then everything else went like according to like how, you know, like how I'd expected. So at that point I like kind of adjusted, but not really. But it was still a fun tournament.
Nice.
But I was complaining a lot because I was like, dude, it's lagging so much, man. Like I hate this. I hate SF2. I hate online, man. Why can't everything be LAN? And everyone in the hotel who was left was like dying because I was just. It was probably the most like annoyed I've shown myself to be in front of like people. Like I don't know. I feel like especially like during like sets or during like tournament sets, I don't show like my emotions that much. Like obviously after the set, if I won, I'm like popping off, or if I lose, I'm like complaining a bit. But like in the middle of the set, I don't really like show anything. But then like trying to adjust back to like online was just so infuriating because nothing was happening the way I wanted to. And I was just like, why do we play this game at all?
Wait, question. Did you play BBT from the hotel?
I did. I was planning to drop out like entirely because I was like, man, Bowler's 3.5 ran a lot longer than I thought, and I wouldn't be able to get home in time to play. But then it was just like, you know, I just played. The hotel was not the hotel. The Wi-Fi was pretty good though. It was like kind of like on par with my Wi-Fi at home, which was like pretty decent. It was pretty decent Wi-Fi. But yeah, you know, I don't know what to say about that. I just think Solus is just looking so good as of late. I think that what is it? I don't know. I think Bowlers 4 is gonna be so sick. That's a tour that's the next PR tour that's gonna happen.
That was my next point actually. I wanted to ask you about Bowlers 4 because I know I'm gonna be grinding. I know you're gonna be grinding. I know everyone's gonna be grinding for this.
I'll be back on the stream grind. I know I haven't been streaming a lot, but I'm definitely gonna be back on that.
Okay. So with Bowlers 4, do you have any predictions as of right now of storylines that we might see or anything along those lines?
I think if everyone enters, and by everyone I mean like Prolific, Zaire, RC, maybe Vash, like maybe Vash. I know like me. I know like a lot of like the tier below the very top, like me, AK, Hewley, Kai, you, more people like Solus and whoever else joins. Like JMac may not join though. It depends. But all of us are basically joining. And if like Zaire, Troll, and RC join, we'll have like a really fun tournament. But I do imagine that if everyone at the top joins, it's gonna end up being like another prolific Zaire grand finals. Because I do not imagine that like many people can like I don't think anyone except for Pro is gonna beat like I forgot to mention Chaos, but yeah, Chaos is also up there. I didn't no one is beating Zaire. All right, he has to be playing like off in order for people to beat him. The only person who's gonna beat him is Prolific, and Prol is a little bit less consistent, but he still hasn't lost to like many people in the past couple months. But other than that, I think it's gonna be really fun. Another storyline is that like what is it? I don't know. I think Chaos AK is a very like interesting dynamic because whenever Chaos like pops off in a tournament, there's always just AK like sitting waiting for him, and he always manages to lose, or AK always manages to just beat him, which is crazy. It's like their dynamic is like super interesting, and if we see like that again, like things might go differently. But if it stays, then is just a testament to like how consistent AK is, because he's a mad consistent player. I don't see him losing to like many people like who are worse than him.
Chaos has been a weird case because he has versus the top level like Zaire and Pro. He doesn't do that. He does amazing. He does amazing versus them. But it's weird because he has these like mid-level like player matchups where he like struggles a bit in. It's very interesting to say that. Very interesting to see that.
Chaos is just like a weird player in terms of like who he loses to and who he beats. Because he can like at any point he can beat Pro, he can maybe beat Zaire, he can beat RC, he can beat me, but like he just loses to like I don't even know. Like I don't think he's really been upset in the last couple of months really, which is pretty good for him. I guess like you can call AK an upset because like Chaos would be ranked above him in my eyes. But that's basically it. But it's I don't know. I think like people overblow the fact that Chaos gets like upset too easily. I think it definitely hits hard. It definitely hit hard like before, but like right now he's kind of just been like doing his thing, like he just beats players ranked below him, so maybe sometimes loses, and then he just like can beat people above him. It's a matter of like will he, So Chaos is either gonna get like third at bowlers or like ninth. That's my guess. He can either show up or just be like, just like get knocked out the tournament.
All right.
But yeah.
I think that's all my questions. So I want to say thank you for allowing me to interview you again.
For sure. It's always fun doing this.
I'm probably about to get on my Bowlers 4 grind now. That's gonna be fun.
Good luck with that.